Cash stuffing is exactly what it sounds. It is creating a place in your home. I'll use an example of something I did for myself. Back in my 20s, I started doing this. I had a cork board, a big cork board like you can buy at Walmart, and I had it on the wall in our closet, and I had all these different envelopes up there. I had things like eating out, movies, clothing, Christmas, birthday, vacation, emergencies, whatever your list of things are. But the cash stuffing is the idea. You put money into those envelopes, and when you're out, you're out. Let me tell you how popular this is. Today's younger generation has really brought this back as a very popular concept. If you just look up cash or hashtag cash stuffing, there have been over 450 million views of that since May of 2022. So it's a big thing. Why has it become so popular? Well, think about it. The CPI index a month ago was 9.1%, consumer price index. It's 8.5% this month. Everything costs more. Think about gas, food, traveling, clothing. It's kind of insane how expensive things have gotten. So it's a real temptation to put things on a credit card or to reach into other accounts to pull the money out whenever you get low. Cash stuffing keeps you from doing that. You know exactly how much you've put back on a monthly basis, and like I said, if you go to a movie and you've used what's in the envelope, you can't go again until you put the money back in. So it's a very popular concept. Here are some pros and cons of cash stuffing. Pros. Credit card debt, I know I talk about it all the time, but it is so critically important. It's one of the #1 things that causes problems in current lifestyle and in future in retirement planning. So one of the pros to cash stuffing keeps you from putting money on credit cards, okay? So it's currently estimated 30% of all Americans have up to $5,000 in credit card debt. Okay, 15% of Americans have up to $10,000 of credit card debt, and 6% of all Americans, and that's 14 million people, have more than $10,000 in credit card debt. Well, why is it $10,000 doesn't seem like a big number? Why is that a big deal? It's a really big deal because most of the time when you have credit card debt, you're only paying the minimum balance. And so if you're only making that minimum payment, you're never touching the principal and you're snowballing the interest inside it. And the interest on a credit card is often 15 to 20%. We want to avoid that. So one of the big pros to cash stuffing, you're only spending the money that you've got on hand. You're not going to use that credit card. You're not going to go steal from a savings account or a retirement account, which may have a penalty against it. That's a big pro. Here's one of the cons. Credit card can be a dual-edged sword. We need credit cards to build credit. So if you're only spending from a cash basis, then you're not building your credit. And it's important for home loans and car loans and your overall credit history. So we want to make sure that when you're using the credit card, you're not just making the minimum payment. You're always making the full payment and you're not paying any interest on it. So that's a way to avoid it. Another downside would be if you're only using the cash, it can keep you from using a retirement type of account like a 401k or an IRA. You get to thinking about use the cash that's on hand. And we really want people to save at least 10 to 15% from every paycheck back into some type of account that's earning interest. Obviously, if you're using cash stuffing and it's in an envelope, no one's paying you any interest for that. And with the CPI as high as it is, 9.1 and 8.5% recently, we have got to beat inflation by making interest. So a con would be you're putting money aside and only using it on a cash basis, and that money that you have set aside is not earning any interest. We want to make sure that at least 10 to 15% of every ongoing paycheck is in an account like a 401k, maybe getting a free match, or an IRA, and it has the potential to have some good returns to offset inflation.